What's up, tribe? How you doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is going to be Power. What's it? Season 6, episode 2. Are we in season 6? I want to make sure. Yep, season 6, episode 2. So look, we about to run into the same problem with Power that I ran into with every Tyler Perry project I done ever seen. You're not getting ready to insult my intelligence with these timelines, and you're not going to insult my intelligence with this character development. You can't do it. You can't have it both ways. This timeline. There is no way in hell that Ghost tried to kill Tommy the night before, and the next day he has his arbitration for his divorce that I was gonna say Keisha that Tasha just asked for. Like it don't work that fast, and they get to the arbitration for the divorce, and she done had a forensic accountant find all his hidden money. Stop it! Stop it! You playing with me? You playing with me? But let's get back to this story. Let's just go on through it. And if I'm wrong, y'all drop it in them comments. But shit just wasn't adding up to me. We start this episode off the day. It must be the day after because we see Tommy's Mustang being put up on the tow truck. Y'all know they don't let no cars just sit there abandoned on no dock for 3-4 weeks. Okay, so it's had to be pretty much the next day. Then we see Tommy. Damn, Tariq then had to get Tommy a Uber on his account. Tommy don't have no account. He got. I mean, I understand him. Well, no, I guess he wouldn't have an Uber account. Anyway, neither here nor there. I'm not gonna be petty about that. He fussing at the damn Uber driver. I thought he was gonna kill the Uber driver for a second, but anyway, he gets Ghost what goes to the distributor. You know, the guy that Tommy was meeting with when he when Ghost tried to kill him, and dude was going to kill Ghost. He was like, "Look, you fucking up my business." You know what I mean? He let Ghost think that he killed Tommy. So Ghost thinks he killed Tommy. Everybody in New York know Tommy ain't dead except for Ghost. Everybody. Tariq know Tommy alive. Tasha know Tommy alive. Keisha know Tommy alive. And Proctor. Proctor don't know. Proctor think Tommy did too. So, Tommy rolls up on his crew. And he basically tells them, look, Ghost tried to kill me last night. He thinks I'm dead. We gotta keep it on the low. Everybody gotta think I'm dead for a minute, but we gotta keep these shipments moving. The Connect guy threatens Ghost. He was like, look, I'll let you live if you pay me $100,000 a week. And Ghost was like, all right, whatever. You know what I mean? Because the guy was like, you playing with me. You playing with me and you fucking up my money. So I will basically I'll let this whole thing ride. You pay me $100,000 a week. And I'll make sure don't nobody kill you. So Ghost was like, yeah, all right, whatever. And in my mind, I'm thinking, where the hell is Ghost getting all this money from? I know he probably had money on reserve and everything, but he ain't changed his lifestyle at all. And now he done went from being a kingpin to owning a club that seemed like it's closed more than it's open these days. So whatever. Neither here nor there. So Ghost rolls up on Proctor and he lets Proctor. He's like, look, I need an alibi. And Proctor was like, I can't give you no alibi because last night, not only was I at my daughter's ballet recital, but the feds was there and they know where I was. So I can't lie and say that I was with you. And then it's my last soda, y'all. So I was giving up sodas starting in September. Anyway, then Proctor gets served from his wife. She wants full custody. You remember, his wife, the drug addict. She wants full custody. Okay, we're gonna get back to her crazy ass. So, oh Lord, y'all, it's so much. It's so much that going on in this episode, but it's a lot. So the task force is rolling. Y'all know the detective from New York. She's on this task force, and she's with the FBI guy. The black guy, the FBI guy. They roll up on Tasha, and she's trying to talk to Tasha, and he's trying to let her know, look, don't push her too hard. You chill out. And they're trying to find out when was the last time she saw not Tommy, what's his name? His name started with a T too. Terry. So they asking her about Terry, when the last time she saw Terry and everything. And she was like, look, I've been looking for him a damn self. Do you know where he is? And she was like, well, when's the last time you talked to him? She was like, the night, the day before he was supposed to go to court. He came through here that morning, and she was like, well, what did y'all talk about? Tasha was like, doesn't that fall under attorney-client privilege? Like, do I really have to tell you what that's about? So then she starts insinuating that maybe was something going on between her and Terry. Tasha was like, thank you so much. You can speak to my lawyer, and she shuts the conversation down. So the FBI guy, the black guy, he like, yo, why were you pressing her so hard? Like, you already, like, she's not easily shook. And she said, look, I had her in the interrogation room. Excuse me, y'all. I had her in the interrogation room for 3 hours. I know she's not stupid. And she knows a whole lot more than what she's saying. Honey. So next thing you know, we see Angela's sister packing up her office. Now, Random TV Reviews, shout out to Random TV Reviews. They brought up a good point last week. Now I brought up the point about Ghost just rolling up in Angela's apartment all willy-nilly, like he's supposed to be there, and I was surprised that the sister hadn't been through the apartment yet. But Random TV Reviews brought up a better point. They were like, this is a federal agent that was murdered. You mean to tell me they ain't already been through her apartment and have her apartment roped off as potential evidence? Like, I was like, you know what? That is a valid point. And once again, we see her sister packing up her office. We still ain't seen the sister go through. Well, we saw it later on, the sister going through the apartment. Sax was talking to the sister, and the sister was like, so, what's good? Like, y'all have any evidence yet on Jamie? And he was like, no, but you have any information you can share with us? And she was like, look, you don't play with me. Like, what's good? So then she's asking him about the benefits, and he was like, well, there's been a little hiccup with the benefits, because remember last week, Ghost offered to pay for the funeral, and she was like, hell no, no, hell no. But now she ain't got no money because the benefits haven't come through, because of course Angela Ash was getting ready to get fired. Y'all know they ain't about to come up off them benefits real quick. They're gonna really see how this whole thing shakes out before they give up some money. And it's unfortunate, but we're gonna see how that work out. So up at Choke, I'm gonna get this out the way. Tariq is, big man on campus. He's selling his pills now. I don't know where he's still getting the pills from, because I guess he's still selling off the supply he had from Keenan, but I don't know when or how he gonna re-up, but that's a whole nother conversation, I guess, for another episode. But he's still selling them pills. His stupid ass roommate gonna bring the guys to the room to buy the pills directly from Tariq. Now Tariq learned some stuff from Keenan. Tariq was like, what the fuck? He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Dude was like, come on, man, he's good, he's cool. Tariq was like, I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know nothing about no pills. Get up out of my room. And you hate to give kudos to a drug dealer, but kudos to Tariq for learning those lessons, because you are absolutely correct. The last thing you need is for you to get the reputation that you're the one that got the damn pills. It's bad enough that your roommate clearly got loose lips. So when after Tariq puts the guy out, he tells his roommate, he's like, look, don't ever bring nobody here to me again. You are the middleman for a reason. And he was like, this how much you gonna sell the pills for? You keep 10, you give me the rest, and that's what it is. So a couple of days later, the roommate comes to him and says, look, I done sold out. He throwing around the money. He all excited. He was like, but somebody wants to talk to you. He was like, I thought we had this conversation. He was like, I know, but she said if you don't talk to her, then she gonna snitch. So Tariq was like, all right. So Tariq goes, and of course it's a little pretty little black girl. And she starts giving Tariq it ain't but 3 black people here. Why do you have to be the stereotype? Like, you the drug dealer. Like, and he talking to her, and he again, I hate to give Tariq props, but Tariq was really playing her like, okay, and like, it is what it is. If it's not me, it's somebody else. He was like, I do it. She was like, well, what are you doing it for? He was like, I do it for money. You don't like money? She was like, but you have money. He was like, I like more money. So then he flips it on her, and he's like, look, I mean, if you're going to snitch on me, you're going to snitch on me. It is what it is. He was like, but I tell you what, I can look at you right now. You a scholarship kid. Your laptop probably beat down. You don't have this. You don't have that. You don't have this. You don't have that. He was like, I can pay you way more than what you make at a minimum wage job. What's good? She was like, I'm not working for you. What are you talking about? He was like, all right, that's cool. He said, I'll tell you what. I mean, you're going to do what you're going to do. You can snitch on me if you want to. But if you want to make some real money, come see me. And of course, at the end of the episode, who come knocking at his door but the little girl. So anyway, we got them out the way. Back to New York. Well, back to the city. So um Tasha and Ghost are at their arbitration for their divorce, which again, like I said, that's when we found out that there was a forensic accountant and all this other stuff, and they finding the hidden money and this, that, and the other. And Tasha is really like, but what we find out is that Tasha got a prenup. And the arbitrator is like, Miss St. Patrick at St. James, whatever the woman's name is. At the end of the day, there's really not a whole lot we can do. Like, you have a prenup. So I don't even know why we doing this. So when it's over with, Tasha's pissed off and she corners, she got Ghost all up in the corner talking about something. I can't believe you doing this to us. I can't believe that, this is how you want to, with your family. This money isn't for me, it's for the kids. Ghost was like, I take care of my kids. Because, that's what it is, because she initiated the divorce. So I think if Ghost had initiated the divorce, she'd be all right. But because she initiated the divorce, the prenup kicks in. And I find it interesting that they have a prenup when didn't they make us believe that Tasha and Ghost hooked up when they were not kids, but when he was early on in his career, like he had a prenup. But okay. I mean, okay. So Proctor had told Ghost, stay away from Angela's funeral. Ghost was like, no, I'm going to the funeral. He was like, well, at least take Tasha with you. He was like, Tasha's not an option. Because he told Tasha, he told him to get Tasha to give him an alibi too. And he was like, yeah, Tasha's not an option. So he's asking Tasha, that this is what I'm telling you. Ghost is the most, I used to really like Ghost. I really did. But Ghost, he is the most pathological. This motherfucker lie with a straight face, and he is so arrogant and so centered in his needs. Now you just got finished eviscerating this woman in y'all's arbitration. You weren't trying to give her nothing, right? You had the nerve to turn around and ask that woman to go with you to the funeral because you wanted to go to the. I mean, it's so many layers to that you have the audacity. But again, here's where Tasha is not stupid. Tasha was like, he made a case that it really would look good for both of us to go. It's not just about me; it's both of us. It would look good for both of us to go. And excuse me, she was like, "All right, well, I'll tell you what though. I'll go if you do something for me." And I thought she was gonna say, "Give me some money." You know what I mean? But all she asked was for him not to go killing Ghosts. Now, mind you, remember he thinks he already killed Ghosts. I mean, Tommy. So he thinks he already killed Tommy, but of course he was like, all right, sure, I won't do it. Next, we see the Sachs meeting with Proctor's wife, making a deal with her. Basically, they want to put a wire on a little girl. I said, you know what? There's some dirty dogs. They got a little chip in the book bags. They want to put it in the girl's book bag. And so the wife is like, well, look, I can't do nothing if I don't, like, I can't put nothing on her book bag if I don't see her. And right, so y'all need to help me get custody. And he was like, well, what do you need from us? She was like, I need a job. He was like, well, with your history, you ain't gonna be able to work for the government. She was like, duh. I've been interviewing with some private sectors, like, just give me a good word, give me the job, because I need to look good when I go to court because I do have this history. So they end up basically making a deal with Proctor's wife that they're gonna hook her up and help her get custody of the little girl, or at least get partial custody of the little girl. We'll get to that in a minute. So Tommy and Keisha. Now look, I told y'all last week that you insulting my intelligence with this Keisha character, because I refuse to believe that Keisha is this green. I just don't believe it. You're not this dumb. You're not this green. You grew up in the hood. Even if you wasn't part of the hood, even if you never dated a drug dealer in your life, your best friend was married to one of the biggest drug dealers in the city. You ain't gonna sit here and tell me you don't know how it go. You don't know the role. You don't know the life. And if you take this character, this writing of Keisha, and take her back to season 1 writing of Keisha, season 1 writing of Keisha wasn't this green. She wasn't. The season 1 Keisha that was messing around with the bodyguard, she wasn't this green. So you playing with my intelligence. But neither here nor there. Tommy and Keisha are talking, and she gonna compare Ghost trying to kill Tommy, and Tommy trying to kill Ghost with, what Tasha was saying, don't do it because, I'm getting it all tongue tied, because you're worried about the family. And Keisha gonna say, well, he wasn't worried about me and Cash. Who are you and Cash? You are flavor of the week. He probably don't even know that y'all dating. That's just how self-centered that Ghost is. He probably don't even know that y'all dating. Like, are you serious right now? Like, did you really compare his marriage and his 3 kids and how long they've been married, at least 18 years, 17 years, to the 3 months that you and Tommy been dating? Oh, and a kid that ain't Tommy's? Are you tripping right now? So there's a knock at the door, and Keisha automatically thinks it's the police, and she starts flipping out. She tells Cash to go in the back room, and first of all, Tommy got there. She told me, "Oh my God, I thought you were dead." I'm like, what's wrong with you? Even though there wasn't an attempt to kill him. Okay. So open up the door, and it's Tasha, and Tasha's looking for Tommy, and Keisha is like, he here, but I meant what I said. Stay away. You're not coming in my apartment. You ain't had nothing to do with it. She slams the door in Tasha's face, and then she turns to Tommy and tells Tommy that, you don't speak to her anymore. She's not in my life anymore, means that she's not in your life anymore. And I'm like, hold up. Like, the two of them are like best friends. I was like, oh, she's starting. See, you creating a situation that you can't fix. Tariq rolls up in his dorm room, and who's sitting on his bed but Daddy? He was like, what you want, Ghost? He cracks me up when he called him Ghost. Anyway, so he didn't tell him that Tommy's dead. And Tariq was like, all right, so who dead? Mom or Tommy or Uncle Tommy? And that kind of, you could see Ghost was sort of taken aback by that. Like, well, damn, like, is it that bad that you just automatically jump to somebody's dead? But of course, he's there to tell him that Tommy's dead. Now, Tariq already know that Tommy ain't dead because Tariq got Tommy a damn Uber. But Tariq doesn't let on. He don't let on that Tommy's alive, and he ends up calling Tommy and letting Tommy know, look, Dad thinks you dead. And he was like, well, did you tell him the truth? He was like, no, I ain't telling him the truth. He was like, oh, okay, cool. All right. So this episode, we see Lorenz Tate roll up in here. Now, he about to announce his candidacy for governor. He's still doing it from Ghost's club, even though he worried about whether Ghost killed Angela or not. Ghost was like, nah, I ain't kill him. He was like, okay, because I don't need none of your bullshit. So they end up having the press conference, and some dude from the audience, now he was trying to control who was in his audience and who wasn't, but somebody then got through. And of course, he called Lorenz Tate out, talking about some, you ain't did, Tate, you ain't did shit in your neighborhood. You haven't done this, you haven't done that. And Ghost, well, he didn't call him Ghost, obviously. He was like, and that pretty boy you got up on the stage with him, he was a block boy. And he this and he that. And Ghost sort of took over. Y'all know how Ghost can do. He took over the press conference, talking about, yeah, well, we all have past that we might not be, proud of. And yep, I was that person, but look at what I've done with my life, And of course, Tate was pissed off. He was like, look, I told you I didn't need your help. Like, I told you not to get involved with this shit. He was like, what are you talking about? Like, I helped. Shut up. Later on, we see that Tate ain't nothing but a big old thug. He ended up beating up his damn chief of staff because he let the guy in. But he ends up talking to the guy, and he's like, look, you were complaining about not having a job and, all this, that, and the other. He was like, I'll pay you, but I need some help. I need you to do some, you seem to know, James from the neighborhood. I need some information. I need you to go into the neighborhood and get me all you can find on him. So I'm like, okay, he working on trying to get rid of James, but he been trying to get rid of James. Tommy and Tasha are talking. Keisha blowing his phone up. Keisha is getting on my nerves. Keisha blowing his phone up. But they're talking about the whole Ghost situation, how Ghost thinks that he killed Tommy, but Tommy's still alive, and what's the best thing they could do. And Tasha's like, well, you know what? At first I know I was telling you not to kill Ghost, but if Ghost die, I get all the money. And it's not about me, it's about the kids. But maybe it wouldn't be a bad thing for him to die. So Tommy was like, oh, for real? Oh, okay, cool. And she tells Tommy, just go and buy Keisha a bag, because Tommy was like, I don't know if Keisha gonna make it. Like, I don't know if Keisha gonna make it because she nervous. The doorbell ring and she think it's the feds and like I don't know if she cut for this. And I'm like, she not. So sister's over at Angela's apartment getting her clothes and stuff ready for the funeral, and she stumbles across the phone. She thinks it's James's phone. She thinks it's Jamie. So she texts and says, "Look, you owe me and my sister. Meet me." And the response was, "Where?" And so she put in a time and a place to meet. And when she gets to the location, the person who shows up is Tasha. And she was like, "Where's James?" And she was like, "I don't know." Like, I don't know where James is. She said, "Well, I texted him." She was like, "No, you texted me." And she said, "Well, what?" And then they get to talking, and that's when the sister realizes that Angela was telling her the truth about working with, Ghost's wife and whatever. And she was like, "Well, she told me she was working with you, but I thought she was lying." She was like, "No, we was working together. We was, working on some things. And they come to a little bit of an understanding. And she was like, um, basically threatening to go to the police with the phone because of course a lot of the text messages and stuff were in that phone. So she's threatening to go to the police with the phone. And Tasha's like, "Okay, cool. I mean, you can go to the police if you want to, but that implicates everybody. Like, it doesn't just implicate me, it implicates your sister. Like, do you really want to do that to your sister's reputation at this point?" So she's like, "Well, I think about it," kind of thing. Tasha's walking off. She texted Tommy like, "We might have a problem." And who she run into but the damn police officer from the task force, basically questioning her about Terry again. And she was like, "Well, you lied to me about Terry." And she was like, "Look, me and Terry had sex in the parking lot at the courthouse. Do you really think that's something I was getting ready to tell you? But it is what it is. I ain't kill him, okay? I wasn't there. I didn't kill him. But something clicked in Tasha because her phone pinged off the tower. So she was like, something made her connect that I wasn't the only one in that garage. Um, so we'll get back to that. Well, we'll stay there. She ends up confronting Ghost about it. She was like, "Look, I know you killed Terry, and now I basically have the proof that you killed Terry because you went in that garage." And he said, "Well, you told me you was gonna stop seeing him," which means that Ghost let her know that I saw y'all. I saw what y'all was doing. And she was like, "Well, look, I'll keep quiet, but you're gonna pay me." So this time you did leverage what you wanted, which was money, against something that Ghost owed your ass. Okay. The custody battle. Proctor's in court. They go through this whole custody battle. Long story short, he ends up allowing his wife to share custody. Now, I think if he had let the judge make a decision, I think the judge would have, because it was obvious that the wife was being manipulative, and it was obvious that the little girl really wanted to spend time with Proctor, but didn't want to hurt her mom's feelings. I understand that the little girl was old enough to have the conversation, but she still was young. It's still a hard position to put a child in, to have one child, have to go against one parent over the other. But neither here nor there. The mother has partial custody, and of course, as soon as she had the little girl, the first thing she did was put the little tracker or the little whatever that microchip thing was, looked like a little unicorn, on the girl's book bag. Tommy trying to kill Ghost. His connect kidnaps him, stops him from killing Ghost, and he tells him, "Look, at the end of the day, it works to my advantage for him to be alive. Go, you just need to keep moving with business as usual. And if it becomes a problem, we'll address it then. But I don't need you to kill Ghost right now." Now, mind you, the Connect getting $100,000 a week off of Ghost, and he still got Tommy working for him. He got the best of both worlds. So he don't really want to see nobody get killed at this point. He got the best of both worlds working out. So there's that. All right, we almost done, y'all. This is turning into a long review, but I told you it's a lot of stuff going on. It's a lot. It's a lot going on here. We get to, I think, Tommy shows up with the Chanel bag for Keisha, and she immediately knows that he's been talking to Tasha because she was like, "It's only one person in the world that know I want this Chanel bag." So, they make up, whatever, whatever. She lets him know, "I don't want you being friends with Tasha." And he says he ain't going to talk to Tasha, but he wants to still talk to damn Tasha. We get to the funeral. Ghost is at the funeral with the sister finds out that somebody paid for the funeral because she didn't have the rest of the money to pay for the funeral. Tasha paid for the funeral. So the sister ends up thanking Tasha, texting Tasha, thank you. And what the sister does is she takes that phone and she puts it in Angela's casket. So she gets rid of the evidence, and we see that she's not going to turn on Angela. She's going to let things be what they're going to be. We get to the funeral, and everybody's at the funeral, honey. The feds at the funeral. The people that Angela worked with on the federal task force are at the funeral. Sachs is at the funeral. Proctor's at the everybody at the funeral. Ghost and Tasha show up at the funeral. And we get to the end of the funeral, and look who shows up. Tommy. Ghost looked like he's seen a ghost. He turned to Tasha. He said, "Did you know he was still alive?" Tasha gave him that smirk and said, "Yep." I said, "Oh Lord, here we go." And that's pretty much it. It's a lot, like I said, y'all. We developing these storylines, and we'll see how it all plays out. But it is definitely some of this stuff y'all playing with my intelligence. Some of this stuff y'all playing with my intelligence, but it is what it is. Tamika was at the funeral too, and she told Sax, "You better get up out of there. You're gonna be the scapegoat when this whole thing goes south." But anyway, that's what it was. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in the comments. Peace.